Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Valeska.
And I'm Sasha.
And today we're going to be talking about something. Have you ever thought of this? How they say speak your own truth until your truth doesn't align with what they say is the truth or what society deems acceptable to be a truth?
Now, when people talk about speaking your truth, is there such a thing as individual truth? We could talk about perspective and your own experiences of this reality. We know perspectives are different, but is there such thing as your truth and my truth? In what sense?
Because I think there's still absolute truth at the end of the day. It's like, whether you want to believe the sky is yellow, it's still going to be blue at the end of the day when we visually see it. There's systems in place that regardless of what you want to believe, it's going to still go on forward and proceed as such.
And then people are going to be living in that reality. So we want to divide, and I don't even want to bring up mental instability here, but I think it kind of goes with this because when we talk about people living their truth, we can go into even transgenderism or gender dysphoria, where it's just like, well, in my mind, I believe that I'm one way, but when people are looking at you, the reality is we've got 10 people lined up and you're saying that you're something that you're not. Those 10 people are going to look at you and be like, you're definitely not a fox. I've seen foxes before and you're definitely not one. So that's why I think there is this idea of absolute truth where in your mind, you can believe something all day. You can believe it all day. But when we ask a room full of people, we're going to find out that there is absolute truth. And some people are existing in their own realities in their mind. What's in your mind does not make it true.
No. And the fact is, gender dysmorphia and transgenderism basically used to be the same thing, but now we've reclassified it.
Right.
So what does that show? The truth is a moving target in society where they can just move it around and every day, okay, one day this is the truth and the next day it's not. Haven't you heard about these diets or certain things that, oh, this is healthy for you, and then the next day it's not? Like,
they change it,
At the end of the day, there's like the unchanging, just like God, truth, right? That is just constant. And then there's the ones that, hey, we can just put it wherever we want, right? And yet, if your truth does not align with society, even though it may be the absolute truth, now your truth is false. Isn't that something?
It's so, and then this is another thing too. This is interesting because we talked about the moving dart or the moving dartboard or target. Yeah. Some things that are acceptable today, go back 50 years later, 100 years later, they would literally look at us like we're crazy and mentally unwell.
That's true.
I was looking at, remember, we recently looked up this Marquise in France called Sade, where they get the name sadism from. And during his time, he wanted to partake in sodomy and all this stuff. And people put him in prison because of the practices that he was doing. Then you look at now and look at people doing sodomy. Sodomy, for those who don't know, cock up your children's ears. Sodomy is anal sex, right? Right now in the world, that's something they're putting it out there like it's just normal.
Yeah.
Back 300 years ago, you would be put in prison for practicing those things, just to show you the moving target of society.
Right. So that's the point of where we need to be grounded
in truth, in
absolute solid truth, which is founded in Christ. So that's the start point. And the fact is, we need to have that North Star, the pillar of light, right? Yeah. That is constant and unchanging, because then when the society says, oh, this is the new acceptable thing, we're not just going to blindly go
and follow.
Yeah, because they also do good to slowly desensitize the mind for you to think, oh, this is now okay.
Right.
But if you have that unshakable, unfailing, unchanging truth in Christ, those things won't phase you.
It's like a foundation. In every building, you have a foundation. Can you imagine if wherever you work at, you drive there every morning and then you leave in the evening? Imagine that you decided to go to work next Monday, and when you got there, the building wasn't there anymore. Now you don't know where work is. I hate to use that as an example, but it's a great example because the foundation, they use a foundation stone to build the building in which you work and in which you live. And when you left your house in the morning, you knew my job is right there. I'm going to go to my job. But when you get there, they've moved the foundation and the whole building is gone. Where is your job? That's what happens when you start to not have or rely on absolute truth. Now you don't know where to go. Where is your goalpost? Where is up? Where is down? Absolutely. And what's crazy is, and I'm going to put this out there, the person that's in charge of moving the foundation, that person or that entity becomes your God. Because down they're telling you what the goalpost is. They're telling you what the target is. And then the same people that didn't want to worship the creator, now they have some other entity that don't care about them. But that entity, I bet your button's going to tell you, okay, jump. They say jump, you go ho high because you're listening to something else. Every human on this earth is following a God, whether or not they believe it.
Basically, you choosing not to choose sides still defaults you
Exactly.
to
A side.
team. Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't it funny how they really push that? Speak your own truth, freedom of speech, which is really being attacked in our society now. It's all good up until the fact you don't agree with them.
What they're saying.
Yeah.
And it just shows you that the same people that are preaching tolerance are the same people that are, to me, the most intolerant. Because you want to talk about Christians and how Christians are not intolerant. Look, we gave you this entire time to do whatever you wanted in America, and when we see what you're doing, now it's switched on us. You say that you're tolerant, but in fact, if I bring Christ, you're about ready to kill me. So who's intolerant now?
Not even that you have to even be forcing your views upon somebody. If you don't agree with what they want you to agree with, now you're hateful, right? It's hate speech, it's this, it's that, and you're going to be censored.
That's it.
So here's another aspect of our freedoms.
What is freedom?
Yeah.
What is freedom? Anyway, that's a whole other video.
Yes.
Either way, guys, wanted to bring the point. Is there absolute truth or individual truth? And I think by the end of this video, it's quite understood what our point of view is, but you can definitely go ahead and comment down below. Yeah. What are your thoughts on this subject?
Yeah, we would love to hear what you think in terms of this aspect of absolute truth or how society says truth plays out.